We all have our moments when we do stupid things. Let me tell you a few of my own such moments. And yes, this video is still about meditation. Hi, this is Supreet. I upload new videos every Sunday. You can follow me on Facebook at Crushing Meditation and Twitter at Crushing Med. I recently listened to a podcast in which Sam Harris, the author of many books and creator of the app Waking Up, which is a meditation app, he said something very insightful in that podcast. He said, "It's not that I don't suffer in all the ordinary ways that I suffered with before I learned to meditate. The half-life of suffering, the half-life of something like anger or anxiety or embarrassment or fear, or whatever the negative mind state is, that half-life is cut way, way down." So what he means is that these negative emotions don't last as long. He continues on with these profound words. When you think of the difference between being angry for 10 seconds and letting it go, and being angry for an hour, it's an enormous difference. Because in that hour, you can get up to doing all kinds of life-deranging things on the basis of your anger and feel good about doing those things because you damn well should be doing those things because you're pissed. Just shortening the time of these negative states is an enormous benefit. Meditation is a great tool for that. I couldn't agree with him more. Let me share with you some personal stories to illustrate this. One time I was going to get together with some friends at a restaurant. I had offered to pick one of my friends from her home at 6, and then from there we were going to drive together to meet all the other friends at the restaurant at 6:30. So I got ready ahead of time around 5 o'clock, and yes, that is possible. Women can get ready ahead of time. So I got ready around 5 and I didn't have to leave home until 5:30. So I started working on the computer and then I lost all track of time. At 6:05, my friend called me and she said, "Are you on the way?" I looked at the time and all I could say was, "Crap, crap, crap." I apologized to her and I asked her to drive straight to the restaurant herself so that we are not both late. During my drive, I was very upset at myself for not keeping my commitment to pick up my friend and for showing up late to the restaurant. I hate being late. So in this kind of a situation, the old me, as in the non-meditating me, which technically is the younger me, would keep on playing this scenario in my head on loop throughout the whole drive and analyze the situation from all possible angles. And I did do that, but I was able to stop myself. I maybe did that for about 2 minutes or 3 minutes. I was able to stop and say, what is done is done. Forgive yourself for your mistake and move on. Don't ruin your present, which is the driving time, and your future, which was going to be having a good time at the restaurant with my friends. So don't ruin your present and future because of a mistake that you made in the past. And yes, that mistake was made 5 minutes ago or half an hour ago, but that is still the past. And I was continuing to live in the past and suffer because of it. So I was able to pull myself out of that state and stop playing that scenario in my head on loop. So what I did instead was play some music in my car and enjoy the music, and then I decided that I'm going to have a great time with my friends in the restaurant and I'm not going to let this mistake ruin my entire evening. Here's another story where I messed up. I drove to my yoga class and only when I parked in the parking lot did I realize that I forgot the one thing that was a must bring to the yoga class, my yoga mat at home. So in the absence of my yoga mat, I wasn't able to go to my yoga class and instead I just decided to do the next thing on my list of errands. And again, I was able to stop myself from feeling bad and cursing myself and just move on to the next thing that I was going to do after my yoga class. I saved the stupidest story for the last. I have recently switched from a diesel vehicle to a gasoline vehicle. Guess what happened when I went to fill up my vehicle with fuel for the first time? Yes, I put diesel in my gasoline vehicle. Thankfully, it was a very tiny amount and did no damage because I realized my mistake early enough. It's just that I had been driving my vehicle, my diesel vehicle, for 7 years, and out of habit, my hand just went and grabbed the diesel hose to put fuel in my car. In all these and many other situations, the common theme is that I felt negative emotions like anger at myself, anxiety, fear, embarrassment. But I did not ruminate in those negative emotions for an hour or two like I normally would before I started meditating. Instead, I stayed in these negative emotions for 5 minutes or less. This kind of self-awareness, to be able to notice when I am in a loop of useless negative thoughts, to be able to snap out of that loop and come back to the present, and most importantly, to forgive myself and move on, is a beautiful and direct effect of meditation. Because meditation has trained me to observe my thoughts and to bring my attention back to the present when I get engulfed by thoughts. That training, which happens on the cushion, prepares you for life off the cushion. The goal of meditation is not to create some temporary feelings of inner peace. It is to prepare you for life and its ups and downs. So it's not that my negative emotions have disappeared because of meditation, they just don't last as long. This is true not only for the silly things I do, but also arguments with loved ones, everyday parenting challenges, and even the biggest catastrophes of life. The duration of all negative emotions is reduced. I lost my dad last year. I was very close to him. I am still very surprised by how quickly I was able to accept his passing and move on with my life. Meditation did reduce the half-life of my grief. Okay, enough of my stories and my stupidities. Now I want to hear from you. Have you also felt that meditation has reduced the time of your negative emotions? What other benefits have you experienced from meditation? Write it down in the comments below. I wish you a very happy new year.